So President Trump has stood up for my guest on the campaign trail and during his presidency, too, in efforts to increase border security and crack down on illegal immigrants in this country. Here now, Marianne Mendoza, whose son was murdered by an illegal immigrant. Marianne, thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Marianne, when you watch all this back and forth and you hear, what the president allegedly said about these countries in terms of the people that are coming here from there. He says he didn't say it the way it was portrayed, and you heard the back and forth about that. And you are someone who has dealt with the ramifications of this on such the deepest personal possible level. What do you make of it all?
I'm really getting sick and tired of the politicians in Washington and how they handle themselves. And this whole, I think they're trying to deflect away from the DACA issues, to draw attention away from what's happening and what they aren't accomplishing in Washington. And this isn't just about Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, my precious son, or Kate Steinle. This is about tens of thousands of American citizens who've been killed by illegal repeat criminals who've been released back out onto our streets. It's about hundreds of thousands of victims of illegal alien crime. And we are hearing more and more from these people who are coming out of the shadows. This is a huge problem in our country, and my son is no less important than anybody sitting on Capitol Hill, and this fight has to be what the American people want. This isn't about politicians' wants and needs and their special interests and what they're going to get done and what they're going to gain from how they posture themselves on these laws. This is a straightforward issue that doesn't need anything else attached to it. Every one of you politicians in Washington need to be protecting your fellow Americans. That is it. That is the issue that needs to be handled.
What do you think about how the president handled it this week?
A lot of talk was about the Bill of Love, and that's really all a lot of people heard. But there was plenty of things that he brought forward in that meeting that he was expected to be on that reform that they're bringing through. And he's going to stand firm on his promises from the campaign trail. I don't think he's going to turn his back on any of us who stood up for him and backed him up and supported him through this. I believe in him. I see the changes he's made in our country so far, and I have nothing but hopes for what's going to come in the future from him.
So there's obviously so much focus on the comment that he made, this S-hole comment about these countries.
The S-hole comment, if that's going to start making everybody who says S-hole a racist, what is this country coming to? And why are they focusing so much on that? And why are they not focusing on the positive things that our president is doing? And why aren't these liberal TV media outlets focusing on the American victims of illegal alien crime? They will not even talk to us. They want to act like we don't even exist. And guess what? Liberal media, just because you don't acknowledge us and you don't have us on your shows does not mean that we don't exist. We're here, we're hurting, and it's happening more and more every day in America.
Marianne, what may have prompted the comment or the discussion or however it actually came out was that Senator Durbin was arguing that people who are here on temporary status because of, for example, the earthquake that happened in Haiti, in El Salvador as well, the earthquakes and the hurricanes that brought those people here, they were granted temporary status in the country, and now the president says it's time for them to go back. The infrastructure has been repaired and the things that were promised have happened. Durbin is pushing for them to be able to stay here. What's your message on that?
Durbin needs to start taking care of the homeless veterans we have and the homeless Americans that we have and the hungry American children that are out here on a daily basis. And I think our politicians in Washington have lost focus on what they really are there for, the constitutional rights that every one of us as American citizens have that are being completely ignored, and they are giving more precedent to these illegal criminals. And every one of them are criminals because they're here. This DACA program that the liberals claim have such, they're contributing members of society. 24% of them are illiterate in English. Only 42% of them have basic English comprehension. And 49% of them have not graduated from high school. And there's a huge percentage of them that are on welfare programs. What I think our politicians need to be doing, and Mitch McConnell needs to take this to the Senate floor, we need Kate's Law passed and we need No Sanctuary for Criminals Act passed, because both of those things deal with over 900,000 convicted illegal felons who are roaming the streets in America. And our politicians don't care about our safety, and they want to make a big deal about protecting these DACA people. Do what you need to do first. Mitch McConnell, quit throwing this back on angel mom and dads that we need to pressure Trump to get us more airtime in order to enable you to bring it to the Senate floor for a vote. And do what you were elected to do.
Miriam Mendoza, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We wish you well, and we're sorry for what happened to your family. I know that's not enough, but we really appreciate your thoughts tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.